and welcome back to the Ales and Fails Twist Stream. I'm your host, Alewolf, otherwise known as Ales, Gentleman Streamer, the excellence of an execution, the no-throne Cicerone. And welcome to Friday, and also welcome to June 2023. We all made it past the halfway point, which means we're good. We cleared that checkpoint. I think we're gonna be okay. And just looking at a couple of things here, folks. Not entirely sure that everything is working out, but you know what? We're gonna take a gamble. We're going to assume that things are gonna be all right. Here's hoping that you don't have to take too many gambles, and that things are going along more or less the way that you planned. Tonight we'll be playing Travis Strikes Again: No More Heroes, which is a game that I've been playing for a while now. I am at the final level, which is called Suicide Marathon, something marathon or other. And I am noticing that for some reason I am in an alternate mode. Hold on just a second here. And it is not focusing on the right screen. What am I missing here? Give me just a second here, folks, as I try to pinpoint the exact issue here. That's a strange one. Display capture. Why is the display capture there? Okay, well, clearly my display capture is exactly where it doesn't need to be, which is just a little bit unusual. Let's see where it is if I tune into the alternate. Yeah, it's still there. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to do a bit of fixing here. Display capture. So it was locked here. Let's unlock it. And let's go ahead and move it. Alright, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go into a be right back. So we shall be right back. Technical difficulties and all. Okay, and so I just realized that the only way to actually fix this scene is by inhabiting this scene. So we're gonna actually literally have to do this live. Display capture. Okay, so why is it here? Let's see. Display 1. That is also not what we want. There we go. That is a little bit better. I am very perplexed as to why that changed. But you know what? Let's lock it in there. We'll worry about that later. So, where was I? We made it into June. We made it past the throes of May, and I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy that I'm here. It is always nice to wake up to a new day. Tonight we're playing Travis Strikes again. Once again, we're actually wrapping up with the DLC content. Here's hoping that I can get an 100% on this. So far, I've gotten every single chip, and I've gotten every single Azteca stone. Really, the main challenge here is that the final level requires you to go through the level very quickly. And so in order to do that, you have to defeat a lot of enemies very quickly. And so I feel like the only way to actually accomplish that is to have a high enough character. And thus far, I do not have a high enough character. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind away at the night. So if you don't like grinding, perhaps this might not be the stream for you, but you know what? I dig it. I like it. I think I'm an old school gamer when it comes to like just grinding. I find comfort in the idea of just like putting in the time and getting higher levels. And so actually that is the reason why I put the question of the night to be, do you like to grind? I know that a lot of people in in these days are very they're very protective of their time, and that's actually very important. I am also very protective of my time, but the thing is, I don't find grinding to be a waste of my time. I find it to be a very maybe not educational, but maybe something that cultivates your skills. It's very comforting. At least maybe that's a very limiting rationale. I don't know, but let me know how you feel. Before we jump into the game though, let's go ahead and discuss what's on tap tonight. Tonight we have LeBron Haze, which is, as you can imagine, a hazy beer, which is good for our Travis Strikes Out, No More Hazies corner. So, LeBron Haze, as I just mentioned, is a hazy IPA, which means that it is an IPA, but it is unlike other IPAs. And how do you figure that is? Well, as you might know, IPAs are generally very bitter beers, and there's a good amount of people that enjoy them. I am not one of those people. These are generally known as West Coast IPAs, and yeah, they're not my cup of tea. Hazy IPAs, which have rose to prominence in the past 10 years, I want to say, to the point that there's an oversaturation in the market, are IPAs that rather than use their hops as a bittering reagent, they actually use them for more aromatic and flavorful purposes. And the way that they do that is that instead of using the hops during the boiling process in order to create the wort and instilling the beverage with bittering agents, what they do is they actually add the hops during the fermentation process, so secondary fermentation process, which allows the hops to simply bestow the beverage a bit more aromatics and more flavor, which is quite nice. Like I said, they've risen to prominence in a lot of craft breweries, and to the degree that a lot of craft breweries will have half of their menu being different hazy IPAs. And apologies for that. I feel like I was holding off that cough for quite some time now, so that was going to happen at one point or another. So as I was saying, hazy IPAs are generally unfiltered, which gives them that hazy, cloudy quality. They're almost like fruit juice to a degree. They're actually a bit thick, and a lot of the times they have tropical flavors, things like oranges, grapefruits, pineapples even, and craft brewers actually add a whole bunch of things in there to make it seem more of a juicy type flavor. Let's see what Untapped has to say on this. Of course, this particular beer is marketed to synergized with the popularity of LeBron James. It is called LeBron Haze. I wonder if he signed off on it. You know what? Let's go on Untappd and see what Untappd has to say on the matter. So this is made by Pariah Brewing Company, which this is the first time that I have anything from them. This is an IPA double dry hop with Galaxy hops. Notes of pineapple, orange sorbet, and peach. Darwin's beer reviews, Greg's beer reviews. Okay, well, I have never seen an Untappd description with beer reviews before, but there's a first time for everything. Let's go back to Intermission here, and let's actually taste this guy. So I'll go ahead and pour. And I think that one of the things that I've simply learned from doing this stream, of course I generally run with goggles, and I think that's simply become an iconic look. And that was a wild pour. The can was already incredibly carbonated, so that is definitely not a nice pour. As you can see, there's a lot of head there. Like I said, this can was probably shaken a lot before before it was actually delivered to me, delivered by Bevmo. So what was I about to say about this? So one of the things that I've learned about working with goggles is just the fact that depending on how thick the goggles are, I can't actually tell what's on the corner of my eyes, and so sometimes you'll hear me just like make random noises across my desk. I got like my keyboard, my Stream Deck, cans, waters, and controllers here, and a lot of times simply because they fall like right beneath my field of vision, I'm constantly just like shuffling things around. But you know what? I'll take it. I like the goggles look. It's not actually going away. So as you can see from this beer, it is quite unfiltered. You can actually see some sediment on it. It's got this yellowish color from the pale ales that it actually uses. In terms of aroma, you can actually smell like a peach note to it. It smells very sudsy, of course. It's almost like a nice, pleasant, like fruit soap. And I know that may sound gross to some people, but it's not that bad. It's actually quite nice. It's very sweet. So let's try to work our way through this foam. Fang a nail, dear viewer. So what do I taste here? Definitely some light notes of orange there, but very light orange, more like a mandarin orange rather than a standard orange. A little bit of a pineapple there, more like a fleshy pineapple rather than the juice of a pineapple. Despite the fact that this is a pale ale, I can't actually taste too much hoppiness on it. It's quite free from any bitterness. Yeah, it's quite refreshing. I want to say in terms of body composition, it's a little lighter than most hazies. I generally put them 2 and above. This is more like a 1.5, and it might simply be because of the pour. Whenever you pour something and it has a lot of head, it like the body actually loses a little bit. This is actually quite nice. It's very drinkable, very refreshing. Despite the crazy name, well, maybe not crazy name, depends on if you're a sports fan. This is actually quite nice. I very much enjoy it. So LeBron Haze, if you're in the mood for having a nice hazy IPA, I certainly would not kick it out of bed for crackers. With that, let me go ahead and update my ticker here, and we will be on our way into Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. Just a second here. And I think there it goes. Let me give this a rating. This is actually the first time that I've had this on this account, and I think it's a solid 3.5 out of 5. Not the strongest hazy I've had, but certainly a solid contender. Alright, so now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead into our game, shall we? Okay. So like I said, the main purpose of tonight's exercise is simply going to be to grind, which is not a bad thing, I want to say. I think, like I said, sometimes just grinding can be comforting. It is stable ground. It is stuff that you already know. I feel like for the longest, or maybe for a significant part of my youth, I spent a lot of time just grinding away at RPGs. And that was something that I found very relieving. Again, I'm not going to fault anyone for not sharing that same thought, but that's how it goes. And welcome, friend of the stream, in I go. How are you doing this evening? Good to see you. Okay. So, like I said, I'm simply going to go into the location. I actually made it let me start that sentence again. I actually searched a couple of GameFAQs boards, because those still exist, to look for the best place to grind. And I found that it is actually in the final level, which is of course our favorite, the CIA. I think toilet number 7 is the one that actually leads us to the place where we grind the best. Nice to see you made it. Didn't think you'd show up. Well, I think, yeah, I apologize for the lateness here. No matter how hard I try, I feel like even if I set a time down, I am at the very least 15 minutes late every time. And that's just, you know, life just gets in the way. Life just gets in the way. Lee, GameFAQs Throwback Thursday with that one. Yeah, so it still exists. People still post on it. Imagine that. I think these days, if people want information, they'll go to, and why am I blanking out on this right now? You know what? It'll come to me. Oh my goodness, this is already shaping up to be an excellent day. So the one thing about the CIA level is the fact that you can only, at least as a single player person, you can only enter it using Travis, which is a bit annoying because I actually want to raise everyone's level to be as high as possible, which means that I'm going to have to continue playing as Travis until I get everyone else leveled up. So there goes the drudgery of our work tonight. I think maybe it's toilet number 7, but then everyone is toilet number 007. Maybe I'm thinking about toilet number 8. Yeah, I think this is it. So what level am I? So Travis is level 18. And if I did my research correctly, every character can actually go up to level 20. Now, in I go. I think you... let me not suggest this. I know that you have finished this game. Would you confirm that the highest level of this game is level 20, if you recall? Level up in skills. So what I really want is to actually use Badman during the last level. So I have to take him all the way to level 20. And maybe for kicks I'll level up Shinobu, I don't know. Depends on how I'm feeling, I guess. But yeah, let's keep on with Travis. I think the strategy here is to level Travis up first and then use him at the highest level to level up everyone else. I think that makes the most sense. Of course, none of this actually makes sense, but I didn't even get that far in leveling up Travis. Well, that's because you're a better player than myself. You actually probably didn't need to do that. Alright. And so, yes, this is the room where, like I said, you can get the most experience. And I think it's about 3,000 experience every time you succeed at this particular place. And of course, the first 5 minutes of every run for me is trying to remember exactly how to play the game. And there I go. Oh, right. I keep forgetting that I have my smoke weapon bestowed upon me by Samurai Goro. Now, one thing that I must definitely do is make sure that I get the fish once they show up. I don't believe that's the actual technical name of the enemies, but they are fish. For all intents and purposes. These guys are so persistent. And I'm honestly trying to save my best hits for some of the harder enemies that pop up. But when it comes right down to it, you get enough recharges for a lot of these attacks anyways. And really, I think I've more or less made it so that I have the chips that strike the most people the most times. 3 level 20 characters overkill, you might as well be the final boss, not Silverface. Yeah, maybe. But if there is something that Old Ales does well is spend copious amount of time doing things that you could otherwise do simply being a better player. And there I missed one fish. That's unfortunate. Right, and I should probably get rid of these turrets first. No need to mention this, of course, because I'm going to do this probably 20 different times tonight. Another annoying thing about this level, as everyone might recall, is simply the fact that the screen keeps shrinking on every few seconds unless I press this pink button in the middle of the room, which is kind of ridiculous. I don't know why they decided to actually put this particular hazard. And there he goes. I really like that attack, it's quite nice. Okay. And these guys, I think, are the ones that just like use their fists to attack you. They're like monk types, almost. And yeah, they'll just corner you and they'll just keep bashing at you, which is very frustrating. Down he goes. And so I think the last 2 challenges are 2 bosses. Both this strong arm, and then there's a sheep man. Which, to be honest, is actually easier than dealing with the waves of enemies, or some of the waves of enemies. placed the turret in the wrong location. Down he goes. Okay, so the trick with fighting Sheepman is simply knowing when to dodge. I think, anyways. Nice. Ooh. That's a hit. And down he goes. Okay, so let's see here. In this level, in a huge way, is toxic, so boring and repetitive and exhausting, but over time you find some comfort with the grind. Yeah, I think so. I mean, at this point, I kind of stopped hating it, and I'm just like, let's just get the work done. And old friend of the stream, Tawamba, welcome back. Thank you for streaming. Welcome back yourself. I appreciate your company. Hopefully I'm not keeping you up too late. I know that it is actually quite late for you, but certainly appreciate your presence here. I mean, I find it comforting watching you in this very basic level design, straightforward, if you will. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do anything fancy. Probably towards the end of the stream, I'll probably try and go into that final level, but don't expect any surprises here. I thought stream was early, then I saw it was at midnight. Yeah, sorry, that's not a nice surprise. Yeah, I used to try to start at 11, but like I said before, life just kind of gets in the way. But how are you doing, Tawamba? Oh, let me just call you T. Actually, that's not nice. How are you doing today? Hopefully, you're having an awesome Friday. Here you go. You know, one thing I noticed that sometimes, maybe a lot of the times, makes a player better than the other is knowing when to be aggressive the right way. It's like people are scared in video games. Yeah, I think I largely agree. I know what you mean. I think it is about just finding your footing and being more efficient at the things that you're doing. And I do find some comfort in that. So that netted me a total of 2,700. Well, I think I had probably like a total of 2,000, if I'm being charitable. It's real good, taking notes for Bevmo later. Well, I am glad that some folks are still interested in the other half of this stream, which is talking about beers. As you might have noticed from the ticker, I am drinking a LeBron Haze, which is a hazy IPA, which I didn't think that I was going to enjoy simply because I found it to be like a cheap tie-in to a basketball player. But you know what? It is actually delightful, and I very much enjoy it. That being said, I am very partial to hazy IPAs. You have to have something really really unpleasant for me to say, you know what, I'm not going back to this. There I go, selling my credibility off. Alright, so the way that I figure, we have to do that one more time before we can level up once more. So like I said, strap in for the doldrums. But yeah, hopefully you guys have some fun weekend plans ahead of you. I know that officially, I guess probably past midnight at this point, Street Fighter 6 was released for the public. So I'm looking forward to play that. It's already pre-installed in my computer. But I probably won't get to it until tomorrow morning. Or tomorrow afternoon, per se. Pretty much looking forward to that. Here we go with the madness. Like I said, as long as I can get those fish, I think I'll be fine. One nice thing that I've noticed since I started leveling up Travis himself is the fact that I can cut down through the suicide bomber people with a single high attack or strong attack. So I don't have to worry too much about them. Question. Wait, hold on. I'm looking at Street Fighter 6. Are the bundles the same as Street Fighter 5 base unit Season 1, Season 2? I think the second level bundle gives you one or two of the seasons. I forget exactly. And then I think that the second bundle, which is the more pricier one, actually gives you some extra character costumes in addition to the season passes. I myself am a sucker for getting all the extra characters even though I don't use them, so I think I signed up for the level 2 bundle. Let's see, do I believe in jinxing myself? I mean, I believe in it in the sense that sometimes I get into my head and sometimes thinking about something that I may have said makes me lose 100% of my performance. But, you know, objectively speaking, no, I don't actually believe that that happens. What do you ask? Ah, I hate these guys. Okay, fish? No, not fish. Ah, I hate these. Nice. Now justice is served. Okay, one more. I think that's... Okay, I think I got all three of them. Ah, no, not this guy. That's exactly what I want, to be stun blocked. Stun locked. Every time I go into my Beyblade of Doom, somebody just decides to stop me. It's very frustrating. And down he goes. And these fish guys just lock all of your abilities, which is just nauseating. Okay, so really the best way to do this is to simply work your way until you get an R attack. I don't think that even registered. Okay, come on guys. Okay, so I think those guys are out. No, wait, one is left. Honestly, these guys are so frustrating. Okay, and so we get Zangief here fighting us. Okay, we're doing the same attack, dude. Come on, guys. Okay. And now Sheepman. Wait, did he just take it out? Fortunately, Sheepman is relatively slow, so I'm not too concerned. Except, of course, that I just died. So there is something to be concerned there. Let's see, before I continue... No, I mean, like, you accomplish something and talk about it, then it becomes scrapped right before your eyes. My father taught me to shut the F up and eat it quietly. My example is suggested for most cases, even though it may sound situational. I mean, I think that's an interesting way to look at how you perceive your own failures and even successes. Um, I think there is a very particular reason why I like to talk about how I fare, and largely a lot of the time that is simply failure. I think that I am streaming, and it would be, I think it would be a little well, what's the word that I'm looking for? Disingenuous to not simply comment on my own poor doing. I'm also just the type of fellow that likes that sense of humor where I poke fun at my own limitations. That's just how that goes. I don't think that it really has anything to do with the rest of my performance. I think if I lose my cool, maybe starts affecting the way that I perform. But otherwise, I think it's all in the mind. But of course, that's just me, and not everybody wears the same shoes. Let's go ahead and pour another one. Pour the rest of this. All right. I certainly like how Travis Strikes Again kind of just lays it out very, very much in front of you. You are a loser. But you know what? You're not a loser if you keep getting back on the horse. Or rather, the sheep. And down he goes. Were you addicted to Street Fighter V? So I actually played a lot of Street Fighter V, but it was not because I was addicted to it. It was mostly because my brothers were playing it. And so it was one common activity for us to do. And I simply thought, you know what, I'm gonna put some time into this, and it was fine. I've got to say that the last time that I really enjoyed a Street Fighter was Street Fighter 4. I found, I mean, there was certainly something about the art style, but certainly the gameplay was actually quite fluid, and I very much enjoyed that. Wow. Street Fighter 5, I'm not a high-level player. I'm actually very amateurish. One of the things that I noticed for myself is just the fact that, I played Street Fighter since Street Fighter 2 days, and I just kind of felt the Street Fighter 5 character is very heavy, and it just did not gel with my expectations. So even though I played it for a long time, it was always not. I would play it simply because I wanted to connect with my siblings, but it wasn't something that I sought out. And at least if reviews and people are to be believed, this Street Fighter 6 might actually be different, and it might actually have fixed some of those mistakes, or maybe design features from Street Fighter 5. Do you have a main for Street Fighter? Tawamba. Let's save. Okay, and I think I'm at 4,000 in terms of experience. I think I need about 5,000 to level up for my next level. And just a second here. Oh, actually, I can go ahead and level up Travis. And so, like I said, even though I want to level up Batman for the final level, I think that the most efficient way to do this, because I can only use Travis in CIA, is to level him up to the max and then use the experience points to level up Batman. So, at the very least, I need 6 more level ups to move forward with my adventure. Boom. I have no idea who I will main. Character crisis already. Well, I guess maybe my question becomes then, who have you played historically in the past, or who have you enjoyed playing before? Like I said, I did start with Street Fighter 2, so my main used to be Ryu. I liked Sakura a lot because she's a lot like Ryu except a little more limber. And then back in Street Fighter 4 and 5, I started playing with Juri a lot. Yeah, she was actually quite good. I did dabble with Balrog for a little bit and Cammy for a little bit as well, but I never got very good with them. So I feel like I will try to work with both Ryu and Juri for this one. Probably try to move to Juri a lot, and then maybe try out some of the new characters to see who's good. Okay, let's jump back in. Hopefully it's a little easier now that we've leveled up. I'm the same way, Juri 4 and Ryu 5. Nice. Okay, well, cool. I guess we are of similar minds here. To be perfectly honest with you, it was kind of interesting to start playing with Juri because she mainly focuses on legwork, and she does very well with just the way that she swings around, very wild style. But it was probably the first time that I played with a character that mainly focused on their legs. I think that primarily whenever I've played with other characters in the past, I've liked people who like mostly focus on their fists, even boxer types, which is why I was playing with Balrog for a while. But then yeah, she felt actually quite right. I don't actually know what it is about that character, but I really like her moveset. I probably just like the character design, to be perfectly honest with you. She's kind of just crazy. Her moveset also just reminds me of one of my favorite characters from the King of Fighters series, which is Ash Crimson. They also kind of just have a similar style in terms of personality. So maybe that's actually what I'm chasing. Who knows? I'm a very whimsical beast. Dang. Crazy bombers. There we go. And really I should just focus on taking out these skulls before I even focus on these minions. Of course I would run out of energy just as I'm doing my special attack. Nice. Ah, totally missed the mark. Did I mention that I hate these mole types? Take out this guy in a single shot now. Okay, down he goes. And of course the fish are here. Last one. Beautiful. Gotta take out these turrets before taking out the main ninja. because of course they just shock you in place, which is a very self-defeating point. And throw our turrets. Nice, and he's out. How am I supposed to get my groove back? Yeah, these guys just kind of stun you into place. It's very frustrating. Okay, guys. Okay, and they're out. Have to defeat this grappler guy. Ah, he just slaps out that Beyblade out of me. Make sure that my beam sword stays charged. Okay, down he goes. Will I actually make it past this guy without having to spend a life? Chances are low. I kinda just have to stay behind this guy. Okay. Jeez. That one was a big question mark. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I'm not caught up with chat here. When I would play Street Fighter 4, I pick either M. Bison or Sagat. Zangief too for the... Yeah, playing with Zangief was always funny. I'm not very good with wrestler types though. Which is kind of weird considering that I do love wrestling. Where they meta, they felt stronger. Kuma was always felt like he was OP. He was absolutely very quick and very aggressive. I know that in the later games they decided to take away some of his defense to try to balance that, but I always thought that he was kind of a cheat. You're getting better at that. Yeah, maybe. I appreciate the encouragement. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, if I can at the very least start leveling up Batman by the end of this session, I think I'll be pretty happy. Alright, let's go back to the trailer and see where we're at. So 2,200, obviously not enough to level up. Let's go back. We'll be back in time. Speaking of Back to the Future, that I guess I heard that they just released a documentary on Michael J. Fox and his battle with that particular neurodegenerative disease. I forget which one it is. I think Parkinson's. I'm trying to... I want to actually get a chance to watch it. Not that I think I've ever had to touch upon this, but Back to the Future 2 is my favorite movie of all time. All time. So, yeah, I should probably check that out. See you next time. Thank you for the stream. Hey, thank you for hanging out, T. Sorry, Kawamba. I appreciate your company. I'll try and catch your stream next time. Thank you very much for staying up. I'll try to play something a little more stimulating next time. And Inago says, oh wow, who would have thought I like wrestler type characters? I'm in no way good at fighting games. Yeah, imagine that. There's a synergy there, I think. Jamie Foxx was trending today. He supposedly got paralyzed and blind because of the COVID vaccine blood clot in his brain. That's I didn't hear about that, but that's that does sound a little bit unusual, and I'm not necessarily going to suggest that I believe that particular detail. Let's just say that I can't imagine that there's a very strong direct correlation between those two events, but I am sorry to hear that that happened to him. He's a wonderful performer. Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy. You know, actually, that reminds me, I was just randomly searching through like Google articles, and one of the things that was offered to me was this article that talked about Sylvester Stallone and how he was just commenting on Bruce Willis's condition. I think recently he retired from acting because he was actually facing some condition that didn't allow him to continue acting, which is kind of sad. You know, not to suggest that the man doesn't already have it all and has done everything, but it is kind of sad when somebody who you think is like a Superman in a certain degree faces something like that, and you know what, that's roughly it for them. And of course, I find myself sad by thinking that I should be paying attention to this any more than a normal person facing the same condition and facing even more challenges because they are not as wealthy as popular as somebody like Bruce Willis. But I don't know about that, and so it doesn't affect me as much. And it kind of just reminds me of the human condition and how little our attention span is in terms of these situations. I don't know that I had a grand statement with that, simply to say that, you know, that is kind of how that particular piece affected me. I gotta remember to keep up my beam sword. Let's go. It's okay. Yeah, maybe. Like I said, I feel like some of us, including myself, are the type of people that care more about the suffering of those that we know versus the suffering of the many that we don't know. And is that a good thing? I don't know, but sometimes that's how we feel. Which of course is in no way suggesting that I know any celebrities. Alright, face my wrath. Oh god, I guess the Beyblade is not fast enough to avoid those attacks. You know, once I get to level 20, what I might do is just switch up some of my skill chips simply just for fun. Okay, down he goes. Down one fish. Two fish. Blue fish. Nice. Okay, 3 out of 4. Wow, he avoided my attack. Am I supposed to not think that he's very skillful? Okay, so down he goes. Of course they had to completely overwhelm me with their numbers. If I could register one move. And of course they also happen to be the ones with the most hit points. Nice. So my skill chips are back. Really guys. Okay. Completely avoided my energy suction. Okay, finally. Jeez. And honestly, half the time I'm just trying to make sure that the screen is not showing that pink fuzziness or blue fuzziness. Nice. Jeez. Okay. That was not a good run. Let's see. Tell me she doesn't believe I can ever bring a woman peace, and it had me reflecting. Get the girls, but not keep them for a while. I'm not toxic whatsoever. I could be provoked, but still keep composure. She said it's weird how calm and composed I am. Like it's too much. Me and friend came to some sort of conclusion. If you chill, they think something wrong with you. If you're toxic, you got a masculine edge to you. But the most important part was to get them to get with you first. It's you having to prove your worth, but maintaining them is prove yourself again and again. Would you agree? It's like the girls get excited by seeing the guy. They like making moves. That's what keeps them around. Well, that's a... I think that's a very specific scenario. Once again, I'm going to say that I'm very ill-equipped to provide too much commentary here. But I will suggest that at least from my earlier experiences in life, I had this thesis in my mind. And it was the sort of thing that suggested to me that, once again, as a very young man, my assumption was that at least people were either interested in individuals that were very successful, or very funny, or very exciting. And I tended to lump in anybody who proved themselves to show their masculine edge in the excitement lot, simply because they kept things fresh and they kept things new, and it was something that they had to react to. I don't know that I still adhere to that particular hypothesis, but I do think that there is some truth to the idea that at the very least people are fickle, and that I don't know that there is a good, strong formula to suggest what it is that they will be attracted to, or the faculty that you have to present within yourself to actually showcase, you know what, I am interesting and I am worth your time. I know that that amounted to a lot of nothing, but that's at least what it made me think about. Alright, let's continue here. Alright, so there's go Sheep Man, which is a little easier than Roly Poly Man. I hear you. Well, like I said, hopefully some of that resonates. Like I said, I know that I kind of skirted the question, but like I said, it's been a while since I've been in this, in that court. For better or for worse. Alright, so gotta hit the weak point for massive damage. One of the things that I find, and I hate to continue to use this word, frustrating in this game, is just the fact that every time you're about to activate a skill chip and you get the most weak attack, not only does it stop you from activating the skill chip, but it makes it go into cooldown again. And I feel like one of those things shouldn't be true. I feel like you should either be able to complete the activation of said skill chip, or you should just not activate it and not go into cooldown. But what do I know? I'm just a fool. Alright, let's go back to the trailer. And it looks like things are good as far as I can tell. Go ahead and save. I really like this shirt. I really like the hot pinks. And maybe that might be already be obvious to everyone, but yes, pinks are good. Like Jason Mraz once said, I am the geek in the pink. Oh wait, did I actually... Well, I guess I can check if I can level up once I descend into the level. Alright, so let's see here. So 42,000. So I need a measly 400 to actually level up. So after this particular run, I'll reach level 20 and Travis will have been totally leveled up. Alright, let's do this one more time and we shall be at max level, which means that this particular phase will be a little easier. Right, it'll be easier. No, it won't. Nice. These bombers. another one. I think that every time I defeat one of the giant skulls, that one of these bomber guys appears. Nice. And down they go. Okay, got one. These shielded fellows are so situational. And back. Nice. So Turret actually does have some level of ability. It's just not great. Oh, come on, I totally missed that. Okay, nice. Down he goes. Okay, go away, guys. Ha, of course. Okay, and then there's this big bozo. Oh, totally missed the mark. Oh, he totally beat up my gas can. Down he goes. Nice. Ooh. Can't survive this. Right. Oh, come on. Now going sheep man. We didn't lose alive this time. And I think we can probably just go back to the trailer now. And let's go ahead and pour the rest of this guy. We're kind of at the hour mark anyway, so we should start thinking about what's last on tap. Alright, let's save for good measure. And like I said, we'll level up Travis to the final level and then we can start working on Batman. And we'll see if there's any skill chips that are worth trying. I don't know that the Beyblade is really working out too well. I asked my dear friend what could be my toxic trait, and he said, red pill overdose. I don't even watch those videos like that. Come across the small clips and watch them most of the time. What they say makes sense. But I go back and tell him the game has been told the game is there before the mainstream stuff like and all them. It's up to you guys. It's either know the rules or what works and what doesn't real. Who go out there when the game tells stories, we either figure it out and fail or be put on knowledge and wisdom. but the game has been broken down for centuries, in my opinion. It's just scattered information. So here's me showing my age. What exactly do you mean by the red pill? Because I know what the reference is in the Matrix, but maybe give me an understanding of like what do you mean in this particular context. There goes Ale showing off his age. Alright, and so we can no longer level up. Clearly level 20 is the final level. And our attack power is at 150. Our HP is at 600. And look at that. All along, Batman actually had more HP than we did this entire time. So let's see if there's anything fun that we can add here. I think the crossbone and the Physalis are actually quite good. Let's see if there's something else we can do instead of the V2 chip. So of course there's a wing chip, which is just a shooter. The F91. This laser thing only works out if we have something to slow down enemies. Dendrobium chip. Sucks energy from nearby characters and converts it to attack energy. Hold button to suck energy and then release the fire. Maybe we'll try that. I've never actually tried that one before. But before we do that, let's check out what else. So the shining chip is kind of like a telekinesis chip. The heavy chips makes people slow down. The shelf chip makes people go towards this particular center. The turn 8 chip is the healing chip. The triple dash chip makes you invisible, which is very situational. Then the Atlas chip is kind of like a bomb. Unicorn is the suction one. Double X sets up a special bomb that sends enemies up and knocks them away when hit. I should probably try that at some point as well. Destroy chip sets a wall, so that's for blocking. The V2 chip is what we're wearing right now. Psycho chip, it's kind of like a little gun chip. Double O chip is the dash chip. These are the Travis only skills, which are nice. They're not necessarily good for non-boss encounters. And then the Travis man formation. So let's try the Dendrobium chip. Let's see. As far as I can describe it, it's truth. Okay, so you choose the truth with the red pill. But usually they're extreme to a T. Because in my opinion, it's nice to have a middle ground at times. They don't, it's either one way or the other. Huh. Okay, so let me go back thinking about that. So... let's see if I'm putting that into context. So I guess you're suggesting that maybe you're too true when you say the things that you say, or the way that you express yourself with people, or perhaps the way in which you set up expectations for others, and maybe that's too much for them. But usually they're extreme to a T. In your opinion, it's nice to have a middle ground, and at times they don't. It's either one way or the other. Well, I think I may have mentioned this before, or maybe that was a different conversation with somebody as reflective on these things. But I think it is important to certainly be true to yourself and be able to speak your truth. But I do think that there is some value in considering that not everybody is necessarily ready to accept the entirety of your truth at the outset. And I do think that there is some merit in considering how you start unloading on people and how you start telling them how you really feel about things. And I'm not saying to forego the fundamentals of what you think about certain things. I think if there's some core values that you uphold no matter what, then you probably should put them up front. But everyone carries their own insanity with them. And I'm being very facetious by suggesting that it's simply the idea of suggesting that unless somebody really wants to know, and unless somebody's really interested in you, or unless somebody really has a strong friendship with you, it might not necessarily be the best idea to always show every part of your truth to them. And I know that that's not a very satisfying thought, but at least it is kind of how I see things. And yeah, that might come off as being a little fake and things like that, but I don't know that everybody is worthy of knowing exactly how I feel about everything all the time. And maybe that's a better way to put it. Okay, let's see what this chip does. So it's like a bomb that bombed everything. There's one of these man bombers. Is that a mad bomber? Yes, it is. Best stay away at this point. Nice. Of course, I ran out of juice. I hear you, but too many people are basic, which is sad. They really wishing a beautiful brain they were born with. That's true. Real stuff fails. And again, this is that's just kind of my perspective on things. I know that there's better ways to suggest the same idea, or at least try to, in a way, temper it, adjust it. I kind of just simply think that let's just, putting the shoe on the other foot, or there's a proper turn of phrase for that, but putting the shoe on my foot, every time I encounter somebody who has layers and somebody who is complex, I feel like a lot of the times if I am just meeting them, I don't necessarily feel like I have the energy to invest knowing about them. And maybe that's my fault. But I feel like if they all of a sudden started talking to me about, I don't know, some of the very deep thoughts that they had from the outset, then I might not necessarily give them the time of day, simply because it would be a little bit heavy for me to simply invest that amount of thoughtfulness into somebody that I was only recently meeting. And of course, that's not necessarily a perfect thing to do, and you should give people a fair chance, but time is such a commodity, and focus is such a commodity. And maybe not everybody sees it that way, but I'm sure some people see it that way. Fish number 2. Beautiful. And head number 2. Oh, right, I'm supposed to charge that. And down he goes. And there. Again, it's the matching between these things that take away your abilities and these guys that just lock you in place that is the most hellacious thing in the world. How are they the ones that are still alive? Seriously. Nice. Wow. So down you go. Wow. Okay, sheepman destroyed, I guess. My friends would say it's crazy how much energy I have. Like, I'm always at 100 with people. They're surprised how I can keep going like that. Even today when I went to the neurologist, she said your reaction time is so quick. Well, you know what? I hope you didn't take away the notion that that's a negative thing. That's just who you are, right? Sometimes I think, and I'm not applying this to any particular person in particular, but it is less about changing who you are and more about understanding how other people perceive things. I don't know that in my ancient age that I've actually changed who I am, but I am certainly very much more wary of how people will respond to the things that I say. New trick found. Trap worked like killed sheepman. Like a placed claymore. Yeah. That worked out okay. Which is actually surprising. Welcome to the chat, Rio de Lobos. How are you doing tonight? How are you doing in the eve of I guess June? Well, I guess we've already entered June the 2nd. How are you doing? Did you have a nice day? That's a very simplistic question. Hopefully you had an excellent day. How's it going? Hello. I'm alright. Well, wonderful. Good to hear. Any plans for the weekend, perhaps? And I should really finish this beer. I am behind. It's better. Work. I'm assuming you work Mondays through Fridays like most of us. Gosh, it's weird to say this, but I honestly wish that I had a Monday through Friday schedule. Those who know me best know that I work weekends actually. Oh, that's a rough one. So just to finish my thought, I do wish that I actually worked Mondays through Fridays. I actually work Sundays through Wednesdays. And so sometimes people wonder, well, why are you streaming Wednesday nights? And I say, because that's the only time that I can do it. But working weekends is actually quite rough. And it's not because, how to say this? It's not because it is, it is a smaller set of days that you're working, but it is the days that people are off. And so getting together with people probably is a little more difficult. And I say that fully acknowledging that I'm a very, very much a social beast. I kind of need to interact with people. And sometimes when they go out Fridays, Saturday nights, it is difficult for me to say, you know what, I can't do it. It just kind of kills me a little bit inside. The most intense days, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Alright, so let's see how much XP we got from that particular run. So 3,000. We are 1,000 away from leveling up Batman. I think we're still learning how to use the why am I having such difficulty saying this? Dendrobium chip. So I guess the idea here is to kind of hold it and then let it go. And then we go back into the madness. Or rather, the Garden of Madness. Lucky number 8. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Nice. So it actually took energy from all of the enemies around. And then it unloaded. So random story from Ales here. The reason why I was I didn't stream at all last week was because I went on a short trip to Disneyland, which, you know, of course is the happiest place on earth. One of the things that I wanted to do was to get a Donald plushie for very specific reasons. But for the life of me, so I visited both Disneyland and Disney California Adventure. No shops had Donald plushies. They had Mickeys, they had Minnies, they had Goofies, they had Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. No Donalds. No Donalds anywhere. That was 2 days of searching. I don't know what happened, but there were no Donalds. Yeah, it was weird. He's like character number 2 in terms of Disney stuff. So I found that very weird. Maybe I didn't look for the right shops, but it really was like 2 days at 2 different theme parks where I couldn't find. I guess I didn't hit what is it called, Downtown Disney. Maybe I might have found one of those there, but yeah, I kind of just found that weird. Churros were good though. Oh, come on, that skill didn't activate. Nice. And so I'll run away from the moles until I can activate my... of course. Yeah, no Donald. Yeah, exactly. The one time that I want a Donald. Star Wars Cantina is so effing good. Unfortunately, I didn't actually visit that one. Oh my goodness, look at that. Nice. Took out another one of these skulls. So actually, are you a Star Wars fan, Inaiko? I got the non-alcoholic and they were good. So, of course, during my time at Disney California Adventures, I didn't waste any time and I went for some beers, which were largely overpriced. But you know what? It made the experience just a little bit funner. Which is not to say that Disney by itself is not fun, but... Wow, that was a bad cough. Oh, I should probably recharge my beam katana. So one of my siblings is very big on Star Wars. I kind of enjoy Star Wars peripherally. Like, I enjoy the idea of Jedi Knights. And I've seen the original trilogy back when I was a young person, but I don't really remember it very well. I think the thing I remember the most is the prequel trilogy, which you know, was not the greatest. But you know what? It's kind of what I remember. I did kind of like Rogue One. And in terms of that prequel trilogy, I did enjoy, what's it called? The third one. To a certain degree, anyway. Let's see. Goes on site. These guys are so obnoxious. Thing of beauty. Okay, down you go. Okay. Took the whole thing away from me. Maybe that particular skill chip is not really good for me. Let's go. I could just roll through that damage. Okay, he's up. Wow. Go for the uppercut, as they say. Nice. That was close. I feel it. Ah, great. So close and yet so far. Yes, just continue. So close to actually finishing him before I actually kicked it. Alright, so let's go back to trailer, let's level up, and then I'll go on a quick break here. For a moment there, I thought the game froze. Alright, so let's go ahead and level up our friend Batman. Boom. And so once again, the clear difference between Travis and Batman is the fact that Batman has a bit more health. I assume that by the time he reaches level 20, his attack power will probably be slightly lesser than Travis's. But I think that's fine. I think we'll do fine. So like I said, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break. A quick bio break, and then we'll talk about what's next on tap. So stay tuned, dear viewer. What am I doing here? Let's go to our Be Right Back screen. We'll see you on the other side of this break. And welcome back to the Ales and Fails Twitch stream. I'm your host, Ale Wolf, otherwise known as Ales, Gentleman Streamer, Beer Goggles 21, the No Throne Cicerone. And welcome back to very early Friday night. Friday morning, at least in my corner of the world. I can only assume that it is potentially different in your corner of the world. But yes, we are playing Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. We're in the middle of our grinding session, so nothing great to see here, folks, other than me trying to get my main characters, and specifically Batman, to level 20, so that we can actually go into the final level of the game and potentially beat it. Who knows? And a couple of new messages. I'll be back when you're back. Well, welcome back, and I go whenever you are back. And if you fell asleep, you know what? That's totally okay. I don't know that anything particularly important was said. You're all good. And if you have to go, if you feel like this is too boring, or you just simply have something better to do, like curl up to a cozy bed, feel free. I appreciate your company, no matter how short it is. I had a thought, but I forgot what I was gonna say. You know what? Let's and I'm hearing two different themes here. Give me just a second here, folks. No, actually, that's Zen Head, but that's just how that goes. Yeah, so actually, like I suggested, I was going to get one last drink for tonight, and what we're enjoying tonight is something that we've seen on stream a number of times. This is Dragon's Milk from New Holland Brewing. This is a bourbon barrel aged stout, and you're wondering to yourself, well, what is this bourbon barrel aged stout, and why should I care about it? Well, number one, don't worry about it that much. But number two, let's piece that out. A stout is an ale that is brewed using darker malts. And so generally what you do is you take crystal malts, you take chocolate malts, sometimes you take oatmeal, and you roast it and you make it dark. And what you end up with is a very dark brew. A lot of the times you use very light hops, or the malts themselves are strong enough that you don't actually feel the bitterness of the hops. So that's basically what a stout is. They are very similar to porters, except that porters generally don't get roasted. Of course, that's kind of like a rule of thumb. It's not necessarily true for all porters. Porters and stouts are actually very closely associated. In terms of the bourbon barrel age process, that's when you take a beer after its fermentation and you put it into a barrel that used to house bourbon, which is a very fine spirit. I'm not necessarily a spirit drinker, but I do know a little bit. Bourbon is kind of like a barley-based spirit, except that it has a high content of corn. And generally, aging something in bourbon barrels actually gives it like a mellow taste, kind of almost like a sticky taste, very sweet, and it goes very well with stouts. So you'll see a lot of stouts that are bourbon barrel aged. Let me go ahead and see what Untapped has to say on the matter here. So this one is called Dragon's Milk. And let me put that on screen. So it's a solid 11% with 30 international bittering units. I've had it at least 11 times on stream. Throughout the ages, Dragon's Milk has been used as a term to describe potent ales and elixirs worth of celebration, a reward at the end of the journey. We are proud to be stewards of that ancient tradition today, handcrafting each batch of Dragon's Milk bourbon barrel aged stout in Holland, Michigan. The best liquid in our house is now yours. Roasted malt delivers notes of coffee and chocolate married with sweet undertones of vanilla and oak from a 3-month stay in bourbon barrels. So that's 3 months in a bourbon barrel from which it gets its bourbony taste. I certainly wish that at least someday I get to visit this particular brewery. So let's go ahead and taste this. And where do I have my bottle opener? Clearly not on my desk. Let me go ahead and get it. It's actually here. Alright. And let me go ahead and pour this guy. And so even from the nose itself already, I can smell that it is already very sticky. That's some very slight earthy notes here, almost like peat, but not quite like a wee heavy. Bang a nail here, viewer. So very light in body, a 1 out of 5. It is quite opaque, as you can see from here. Very strong in terms of the sweet chocolate flavors, almost like a milk chocolate. There's a slight hint of almost like cola flavor, so as something that you might expect from a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi. Very soft creaminess, and that might be derived from some of that vanilla flavor or vanilla-like flavor. Dragon's Mills is actually one of my favorite beers to have to round out an evening. It never fails to make me happy. So yeah, I suggest that you try it if you're of such disposition. Let me go ahead and update my ticker, and we'll get back to Travis Treks again in just about a second. And our question of the night still remains: do you like to grind in games? Well, let me know. And I think that updates the ticker. Let me go ahead and rank this on Untapped. It's a solid 4.5, even if it's not draft. And let's go back to our game. So like I said, at this point, how many levels do we need for Batman? About three of them. If only I could use him during this particular level, I would, but I can't. Let me go ahead and switch out this Dendrobium chip. It might be good for certain fights, but it doesn't click with me. Maybe I want to try, which one did I say? The Double X chip. Sets a special bomb that sends enemies up and knocks them away when hit. So just the fact that it says enemies instead of enemies suggests to me that it might be good for a group, but I don't know that because I haven't tried that. So let me go ahead and do that. Of course I didn't switch it out there. The night begins to dull the senses, folks. Let's go back in. And every time I start this level, it just, that particular, like, what do you call it, Eurodance speed kind of just hits me. Or at least what I perceive to be Eurodance. Just makes me think about how I miss stepping back into a dance club. Maybe in the next life. Oh, nice. That's actually quite nice. Quite effective. Oh gosh, that guy blew up. And down they go. Hey, you stop that. I feel like I haven't been using my other attacks. Nice. Did that hurt me too? The shielded fellow is also quite challenging. Nice. We did it. Oh wow. Totally missed the mark. Okay, blow up with that one. Nice. How are these guys still alive? Okay, nice. Better set this in the middle of the room. Beautiful. Ah. Okay, and now set up the bomb right there. Ah! I missed it by my own attack. And down goes Sheepman. Let's go back to the trailer. All in a good night's work, as they say. Yes, of course, let's use the nice toilet for good measure. Alright, so let's see if we can level up at all. No, I think we at least have one more run before we can level up Badman one more time. And maybe if we complete this one, we will try Killer Marathon once before we finish out here. I think this double X chip actually is nice. I just have to figure out how to time it properly, that's all. It's a little bit like that satellite chip, except that I think it works a little bit better because the range and the timer are a little more forgivable. Down they go. Whoa, where did this guy come from? Nice, I had the air power. Down he goes. Good. Beautiful. Nice. Wow. Totally missed the mark. Down it goes. Oh, of course they had to block my abilities from the get-go. And really, the ground, the sword planter is generally my best bet when it comes to these things. Come on, let me move. This is so ridiculous. It's like I don't even have a chance to move. How is that even possible? That is so pitiful. There's absolutely no way to get out once you've actually been stun locked by one of those guys. It's like, what's the point of any any modicum of skill if all that's happening is they're just beating you down? Reminds me of the song by The Script. Baby, I will talk you down. Oh wow. So it actually hurts me. I didn't realize that before that. I suspected it though. Nice. Gosh, these guys really seem to be avoiding that trap. Nice. Down he goes. Okay, 4,600. Let's go back to the trailer. And where are we at? Okay, so we're actually pretty close. Back in the coziness of a trailer. I should really find a leather jacket like that. Not to suggest that I don't have enough leather jackets, but I don't have a purple one, so there is that. Boom. Lucky 666. Okay, so 2 more levels for Batman and then we should be good. But you know what? Let's go ahead and try out CIA with Batman as he is, since we're wrapping up here more or less. And so the main skill that I really like with Batman is the Triple Crown skill, because it reminds me of me. But beyond that, so there's the wing chip, which is a straight up electric attack. I don't think there's any point in setting up the strike freedom chip. Might as well take the Physalis. Where's the chip that allows me to become a Beyblade? That's the V2. And then there's 00. Is the other Batman only skill good? It's the bad hop. So it shoots a reflected ball. I guess we can just go ahead and try that. See what that's like. Killer marathon it is. Let's just say that this will be a prelude to what we can actually do once Batman is at level 20. Which of course is nothing to suggest that we'll actually do well. This kind of feels very World Fair. Also, this music actually feels like a little bit Russian. I don't know how to explain it. Feels a little bit like Zangief. And that is one hairy man. Batter up. The objective here is to actually make it before the timer runs out. And these pinball paddles are really annoying. Just look at how many times I got hit for one mistake. Wow, guys. Talk about tough enemies. Are we going? What is... Wow. Beautiful. Nice. Oh no. The triple hop backfired. Nice. And that's when the timer starts. What? Okay. Oh, come on. Yes. Oh. At the very least, do I get to keep experience? Because that would be nice. I don't know that the set of skills that we had equipped were actually that dysfunctional. I think it is more about using them at the proper time. Alright, let's try this one more time. Nice. I guess just the fact that Batman uses these triple crowns suggests to me that he is kind of like a charge character. Okay, nice. Made it. Oh, come on. Let's go. Down it goes. Ah, of course I have to. What is this? This is wild. I'm just getting tag teamed by the cool brothers, as they say. Wow. I passed through this particular batch of enemies so much quickly last time. Okay. I don't know why I thought that was a platformer stage. Okay, just... get rid of the big skull first. Whew. And there goes this particular chance. So clearly, I think this is good evidence to suggest that we really need to level up Batman to the final level. He simply doesn't have the attack power to deal with these waves of enemies. But I guess that's something that we'll determine in a couple of weeks. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up once I can get out of this. Kind of funny that even in his naked suit, he still dons the mask. And let's go back to that trailer and wrap it up here. Long day. Yes, of course we're gonna save. Alright, with the potty secured, I think we're ready to move back to Intermission.
I came here to kill your ass.
Let's go with... Okay. Well, that was Travis Strikes Again. Again, apologies for the monotony, but like I said at the top of the show, largely what I would be doing is simply grinding. Hopefully by next time we finish getting Batman to level 20, and that'll give us no excuse not to finish out the final level. It'll certainly be a fun challenge. So, if you're into this sort of thing, I guess visit my Twitch page and check out the schedule. I generally stream at this time of the day, Pacific Standard Time, from 11:30 to 2 in the morning. And next week I'll probably be playing, for this particular block, Haiti. Now, if you are still interested in listening to this poor fool trying to mince words, I will be playing tomorrow afternoon Street Fighter 6 in its debut. Perhaps I'll pick up an online match, who knows. I don't know that the world is ready to know how badly ALS fails at fighting games, but you know what? Even if I fail, it's a lot of fun. But all that being said, thank you very much for your company. Hopefully you at least smiled or maybe enjoyed the laughter. And if not, we'll try harder next time. Here's hoping for your company then. Fanganel to your viewer, and as I like to say, stay thirsty, Elpac. We'll see you again.
Thank you.